Hey everybody, I'm Evan, and today I'm going to show you a game you've probably never heard of. This is empty today. The game I would like to highlight today is called Jiangnan, The Life of Gentry. This is, well, it's either a 2022 or a 2023 game, depending on where you look. So on the subject of deluxeification, this was kickstarted as a deluxe edition that was released in 2023. It is a game designed by Gu Wei, who you may know from a game called Yin Yang, which I've talked about before, and another game called Animals Gathering, which is a fun family sort of game. This is published by Mo Ideas, and it plays 1 to 5 if you have the deluxe edition. But honestly, I would not suggest playing with 5 players. Instead of going down to the table to show an overview of the game, let me show you some of the deluxe components that were upgraded in this version that was on Kickstarter. All right, let's check some of these deluxe components out. The first are the action tiles. They come with these cardboard action tiles. They are fine. And then they're upgraded to wood in the deluxe edition. You can't even really tell the difference. The difference comes in when you're pulling them from this bag. It really creates a satisfying experience pulling these wooden tokens. Pretty minor, but still really nice to have. The next one are the inspiration tokens, which you need for like painting your paintings or getting your ideas when you're doing that, or writing your books or that sort of thing. They're pretty generic double-sided tokens. They get upgraded to these really nice engraved ones. They got engraving on one side of them. They're much better than just the round cardboard tokens that you get with the standard game. They are smaller, but it's really not that big of a deal. They actually fit on your player board better when they're smaller, but these are really nice. And then the final one is these are the money tokens in the game. This stuff right here, cardboard tokens. They get upgraded to these. So these, like, they call them ingots. I think they have another name, but I remember looking them up, and it's basically like rich people money in ancient China, because these would be like these solid gold little bowl-looking things. But man, these are nice. These might be some of the nicest money I've ever seen in any game ever, because man, look at these things. A far cry from this little cardboard token. So that just about covers all of the major ones. Let's go back up top, and we'll talk more about the game. Oh no, I almost forgot the best one. These here are boats in the standard edition game. You line up your characters here for scoring purposes. However, in the deluxe version, these are the boats. So tell me, what's better? Laying your meeples on here or having them go on a little boat ride? Come on, how cool is that, right? 3D boats. So there you have it. Those are some of the deluxe components that come with this game. This is a pretty big and involved game, so I'm not necessarily going to go through every little bit of it. So basically, you are the Gentry or whatever in 1500s China, and you're looking for inspiration for your great work, such as the paintings and plays and novels. And you do that through like a worker placement type mechanism where you are placing your workers into these different areas all over the board, such as like taverns where you can get inspiration, or travels, which can get you inspiration, or like you can hire assistants or use them as muses, and all sorts of those types of things. But the cool hook to this game is you are is the bag building, where you're using these action tiles to put in your bag and then draw them out and then do them. So every turn you're choosing an action tile to play and then an action tile to discard, which will be refilled at the end of the round when you draft more tiles. So it's an interesting sort of push and pull where you have to get rid of a tile, but you also want to use a tile. And the other cool thing is the boats, which are used for scoring. So you want to get your people onto the boats either first or the most of your people on those boats to trigger these different sort of scoring events that happen a few times during the game, which you can rack up a lot of points if you can do it correctly, where you can choose the scoring tile and then have a lot of that scoring tile that maybe everyone else doesn't have, the scoring qualifications, such as, have the most assistance or have the most of a specific resource or finished works or whatever it is. I think it's fun. But I think it's long. However, I think it's both long and short, if that makes any sense, because it's one of those games where, yes, the game runs long. However, you feel like you never have enough workers to do everything you want to do during a round. So that's what I mean by, like, it's long and short at the same time. You always feel like you need one more action or one more worker and you could accomplish what you want to accomplish. So a lot of times you have to, like, carry over and, like, plan for the next round because you just can't do it all in one round. And in regards to deluxification, there's one more thing I forgot to mention, and there's these useless standees that are in the game that there were a stretch goal for this deluxe version that they serve no purpose other than a giant standee that when you draft the assistant, you can take it, I guess, and it sits in front of you. Yeah, no particular reason. But this game also does have a lot of modularity because everything has a second side with a different type of ability or different setup or that sort of thing. There is one downfall to the deluxification of this game because and it has to do with those boat tiles, because those 3D boats, if you're depending on where you're sitting at the table, can block either the score track or it can block some of like the boards, which can be a little irritating for such a nice upgrade. But yeah, I guess that's all we're gonna say about this game today. So if you want to find it, you can probably find it just about anywhere. And I guess, well, thanks for having me again and hearing me ramble about this game, and we'll see you in the next one.